Check out these shorts. Dun, 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 dun. Front tie. They're elastic in the back. And they have pockets. Let's talk about it. Hi, welcome back to my channel, I Can Sew. I am Kendra and I'm happy to be here again. I hope you are happy to see me. Now, I actually took notes today because I'm trying to stay a little focused and get a little better as I present some of these easy to sew patterns for you. So, this is the series, Is It So Easy? Where I test out patterns that have been labeled as easy to sew by some of the major sewing patterns. So, finally, I have found something from Simplicity that I like. I actually have a few for Simplicity, but it was just about what I wanted to sew. And what I've decided to sew is Simplicity 1187. So I made view C. Now the good thing about this pattern here, just off the break before I even kind of go further, is that it has 6 styles. So it does say A twice on here, but we're going to be like A1 and A2. I mean 1A and 1B. Because if you see here, A is different at the bottom, right? One has the encased legs to make them joggers. The other one doesn't. These are capris, a longer skirt. This skirt here has the tie with it, and it's a shorter skirt. And then we have C, which are the shorts, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. So let me pull out my notes. These shorts are pleated in the front, and they have an elastic casing around the waist in the back, and then they have pockets on them, and then they're just a perfect size. These, I wanted to try these out because, of course, it's July. I started actually the end of June, but it's super hot. It's been like, with the humidity almost to 100 degrees every day in Maryland. I swear I feel like the devil was walking around me just breathing on the back of my neck. It's so hot and humid here. There are 21 steps and 6 pieces to make these. So you have the front, the back, the pockets. You have the front waist part, the back waist part, and then there's also a elastic guide. So that was very helpful because you don't have to guess your size, your elastic size, or try to figure that out. You know, do I stretch the elastic? Do I not stretch the elastic? Like, you don't have to do that. You pretty much, it has a guide for you. So you just cut that out, lay the elastic down so you'll know exactly what size you do need. So I like that a lot. It's not something that you can use for other patterns, because what I was also trying to see was, oh, can I use this in the future, the guide? But you can't, because it's only for the back half of the pants, right? So the front half doesn't have elastic on it. It's like a yoke, so it's just a regular flat waistband. Now, I picked out this kind of wax cotton. It's by, it's like I think it's called Ankara, A-N-K-A-R-A. It's African wax print. And I bought this to actually make a bag with, but I had just enough fabric to make these pants. Let me push this down for you so you can see these pants, these shorts. Here we go. I want to show you up close the pleating. Can you see the, let me see. You really can't see the pleating because of the material. Oh, you might be able to see here. It has a, 2 pleats. I don't even see these. Oh, here it is. Pleat. Wait a minute. Pleat. Then it has these cool pockets, right? And then it has the tie. See, the ties stop here, right? So they just tie. And then let me show you the back one more time. we have the elastic back. So, and the elastic back only comes halfway around. So you see what I'm talking about when I say that you cannot use this guide to figure out the elastic for the entire, your entire waistline, if that's the case. I did use another pattern, and I can probably show you in another video, where they do have a waist guide for the entire waist, so that's helpful if you ever need help in that area. What is this? Oh, the red. Okay, let's talk about the changes that I made. So I'm a beginner sewer, I know, and we're beginners, and we want to make things because we don't want to make a whole lot of changes, right? And before I tell you about that, what made me choose this particular style here was that I looked on patternreview.com. I think that everybody should be signed up to that website. It's great because you can put the pattern number in and you can see other people's versions of it. They give you a clear review of it. They tell you what size they made, what material they made, what they liked and didn't like about it, what they changed, what they recommended. So I really like that because it gives me, kind of gives me some very honest feedback. Now, one feedback that was consistent with this pattern here was that the legs were wide. And I was just trying to figure out, who are these people? Who are they? Of course we want shorts with wide thighs. Of course we do. Nobody in this house has small thighs. Nobody. Not me, the dog, nor the birds. We want wide thigh, big thigh friendly pants. We want big booty friendly pants. And in this case here, because they're wide, the leg and all that space was wide, it is big booty and big thigh friendly, which is great because you just don't want to have to do a lot of adjustments. And I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't figured out how to make adjustments to my pants yet. So when I read that over and over again, I was like, heck yeah, these pants are for me. And they better be easy because Simplicity says this is a whole line of easy to sew. So it better be easy. So anyways, that's what made me pick the pants. Now, because of that, I was able to make some small changes that were very, I still think beginner friendly. And so let me tell you what those changes are. For the ties, I used the longest measurement that they had available. So this particular pattern here goes from a 16 through a 24. And let me tell you what that means in your waist size, right? So if in the waist, it is, let me see, waist. At the end, after you finish, because that's what's most important. Well, the hips, right? The hips for a size 16 will end up being, they will fit a 47.5 waist because they're supposed to be a little wide, right? It's supposed to kind of come out a little bit. If you are, if you get the size 24, that is for somebody with a 56.5-inch waist. So these pants are friendly, and again, the fact that they fit, wide in the thighs is perfect. Because when I tried them on, I actually forgot that they were supposed to fit wide in the thighs because I have big thighs and they don't fit me wide. But that's great. So I used the longest tie on this though because I wanted to have some kind of hang time. Now what I would do in the future when I make these again, because I do plan on making these again, why not? From start to finish, it's about 3 hours to make. So it took me like weeks, but don't judge me. I never sew anything straight through. So I will make the ties even longer, probably extend past what the pattern has on it because they don't hang enough for me, and I did want a cute little hang time with the ties in the front. The other thing that I changed was the hemming. The hem was supposed to be a little shorter than this. I don't see that being a problem. I don't think this particular fabric would have looked good much shorter tline this. So I made this maybe, I did it maybe like a 1/2 inch hemline. And I think it asked for like a little wider than that. So I don't think you need to go about the hem suggestions at all in patterns, honestly. We're all different sizes. Patterns are supposed to be like the template to making something for you. We're all different heights. We like our shorts different lengths, pants different lengths. So, kind of go with what looks right on you. So I tried them on, kind of folded them up, figured out how short I wanted them or how long I wanted them. And then I kind of went from there. I also used 4 pieces of elastic instead of 2 pieces of elastic in the back. So it requires that you make it, and then you go after you make the casing and from the back, then you go back and you sew along like the middle of the casing, and so then you put elastic, and you run the elastic through the top part and through the bottom part, right? But for me, I didn't have the size elastic that it asked for, which was 3/4 inch. I didn't have 3/4 wide, 3/4 of an inch wide elastic. I had 1/4, and a sister was not going out and buying more elastic. So what I did was, instead of taking the one piece and making 2, one up here, one here, I sewed twice. So I did the middle one, and then I went back in again and went back in again. So I made 4 rows basically. And then I just kind of threaded it through to make 4 casings across the back. And I think it looks the same. I'm seeing a lot of pants where you can't tell how many pieces of elastics are in it. So I really kind of like this effect. And I don't think it looks any different than how another pair would look. If I didn't tell you it had 21 steps, it has 21 steps. But that seems like a lot. When I went back and read it, they walk you through a lot of things. Like, one of the steps even includes a tip on how to stop the elastic from rolling. So that's why it's that's like step number 12. So that's an extra step they added in. Plus the hemming was the last thing to do. So so it was very simple. I thought the instructions were very easy to read. They didn't have a lot of complicated pieces. Unlike McCall's easy patterns, this has no hand stitching, nothing extra. You just put it on the sewing machine and go. You're not doing any little tricks and dips and wiggles that McCall actually do. Although McCall does walk you through each and every step, that's not the point. As a beginner, we don't want a whole lot of techniques added in, and this definitely did not add a whole lot of techniques. So that was a plus. In terms of, make sure I carried all the likes. I think these all of these can be made in multiple fabrics. So that was good. Linen, cotton, rayon, polyester. Is that right? Rayon? No, like chalice. Like, it can be made with all different types of fabric and still give you, still turn out really cute. The skirts can even be made in wool if that's your, not wool, wool too, but corduroy if that's your thing. So think about that. The fact you can wear these all year round. You can make these pants in leathers too if you fancy, or pleather, or vegan leather if you fancy. Because I can really see these pants here, these joggers being made in that material. I think that'd be kind of cute, actually. The shorts can be made in a pleather too. I like that. I love that it can be made in many different fabrics. I love that it's big thigh friendly. I don't know to tell you, for you people out there who are struggling with small thighs. I don't know what to tell you, because I absolutely love that portion of it. So I still think it can be fit any size, body type. I think they're very comfortable to use. You can never go wrong with elastic in the waist. And the fact that the front doesn't show the elastic kind of, makes you feel like, I have on some fitted pants. The con, I thought that inserting the elastic could be a little clearer. I did read from some other people that they found it to be kind of unclear as to what was going on with the elastic as well and how to install it. But I read it over and over again, and I eventually was like, oh, that's what they're talking about, and I figured it out. So that was, cool. So that was fine at the end of the day. I think that was all that I have. I talked about my likes. I told you I made version C, which are the shorts. I know you're like, what is going on here? Did the volume go out? No, the volume didn't go out. I'm reading. And that is it. So these turned out great. I like them. The big question is it easy to sew? Yes, it is. The final thing I would have to say about Simplicity versus McCall, because I've only sewn the two of them so far, is that with Simplicity, they have an entire brand dedicated to like easy to sew, or and McCall has one called Learn to Sew too. But what I like about McCall is that McCall has a lot of patterns that are kind of intermixed with, you know, their regular line of clothes that come out each season, and they just read on the back whether it's easy to sew or not, or it's average for sewing, or, you know, advanced sewing. And Simplicity doesn't do that. Rather, I mean, they have some things I've found through reading the instruction are easy to sew, but they just have a lot of brands. They have this easy to sew here. They also have a It's So Easy brand that you can find at Walmart. But, you know, just to put things, just to label like their regular line of clothes as easy to sew or advanced, I think will save people a lot of time, heartache, and money, because patterns are not cheap. Although your girl does not pay any more than 99 cents for Simplicity patterns, because Joann's is always having a sale. So now that McCall and Simplicity are owned by the same company, I'm hoping that Simplicity will add that little detail on the back as far as just telling us whether it is easy to sew, so we can have a more variety, because their basic easy to sew patterns under that brand, you know, brand line, are not that stylish. I mean, you do learn to sew, but nobody wants to sew boring clothes. So I'm not going to keep you much longer. I'm just so excited that I finished these shorts and I was able to share them with you and answer the question that yes, Simplicity 1887 with 6 different styles is easy to sew, because we are always asking, is it so easy? Well, this is so easy. Have a great evening, and I will check you out in the next video.